Yo guys, Trader Main here. So wanted to get a quick video update out to just kind of cover the last trade idea that we had discussed on stream on Tuesday, I believe. Today is Friday. That ended up playing out. So when we did that stream initially, we were watching here, this 12-hour order block for a potential bounce. And this being the area where we could potentially see this higher low form and maybe a move to the upside. However, as the stream progressed, and because I actually trade the markets, I'm not just charting shit all willy-nilly, and I don't have this, desire to be right. I care more about making money than being right. We were watching the PA here. So I'm gonna draw out that 12-hour order block here. Okay, so this was the 12-hour order block, right? And at the start of the stream, I said, listen, I'm looking for reasons to get long here. I want to see that fractal that I like to get in, right? That accumulation schematic that I like to get in on, right? Form in this area here, right? So we had a bunch of sweeps. We were getting, kind of potential signs of accumulation here. We kept sweeping. And I said, there is a potential, right? The goal is going to be a move up into here. That was the goal, right? This low, this high to this low, we'd pull back into this kind of breaker structure, right? Because this is a 12-hour SFP up here. So I said, this is going to be resistance. So we could get along from here to here. And then depending if we get distribution here, we could short. And if we flip this area, obviously, then we can long to that 18.2K target. However, as the stream progressed, we started getting this move away, but then we did this, right? So we had an SFP. And to me, this was a clear sign that price potentially was going to trade lower. Once we had this 1-hour SFP print, I said, listen guys, I wanted to potentially short up here or at least target up here on a long, but things change. I can do a video and say, hey, I think we're gonna go from here to here, but if something like this happens, it changes. So I can go from being a bull thinking we're gonna go to 17.3 to being a bear towards lower prices in an instant, because you have to just deal with the data as it comes in. As the price progresses and the chart progresses, you get more information, and that new information can change your decision. So once we had this print, if you go and watch that stream, I actually showed you guys a short setup on the 15-minute chart. I said we had this SFP here. I said if we break market structure here and get a retest, you could short with your stop up here. There's your break, there's your retest. Here's another retest right here. Here's another retest. So there's a few opportunities to get short here based on, okay, we just swept this consolidations high, closed back within, put in an hourly SFP, and we had a liquidity objective to the downside, right? If you zoom out here, once we ran this high here, what becomes the next most obvious target? In my opinion, it's these lows, right? So once we ran there, zoomed in, I gave you guys the setup on the 15-minute. If you go watch that stream, I gave the exact setup. I was like, if this breaks down here, you can short this. And where would I target? These lows. All of these lows here just ran these key highs. Let's target the lows. So I drew out the box. I gave you guys the level. I said, this is where I now want to look for longs in the gray box. And of course, I had people in the comments, oh, why aren't you looking for longs lower? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And it's like, I'm doing this because this is what I see in the chart. I see that we ran these lows here. We're coming into an area that should be support. We have this old range high here, should be support, 12-hour fair value gap, lows that got run into support, into a fair value gap. And actually, if you take a range from here to here, we're also effectively at the mid-range of this entire range. So people asked me, why was I not targeting here? Yeah, maybe we were gonna go that low first, and maybe we will here, right? And then maybe we'll go back up. I don't know yet. Again, I'm not in the business of predicting 5 moves in advance. I just want to predict the next move. Can I predict what's gonna happen next, up or down? And can I make money on that prediction? That's all I give a shit about, right? We had a lot of confluence for me. We had that old range high, we have this mid-range, and we ran all those lows, and what? 12-hour SFP. All of a sudden, start coming together, we might have a tasty little setup here. So I gave you guys all the levels. I mapped it all out for you. I posted it on Discord. I posted it on Twitter. We came down to the box, and exactly what I was looking for here, I was looking for here. There's your SFP. There's your bullish order block, break in market structure. Another SFP, bullish order block, break in market structure, right? So there's multiple H1 setups here that you could have entered on. We saw the accumulation here. I ended up actually longing Ethereum, but the setups were laid out. This is where we wanted. I wanted to see us hit this gray box. I posted the Ethereum chart too. I'll cover that in a sec, but it gave you the trigger. And then where were we targeting? Our target remained that same area, this 12-hour SFP. Here's that breaker block right there. Came right into it, and now we're rejecting. So you could have opened a short here if you wanted, right? We got effectively came up into the breaker, SFP, break in market structure. This could roll over from here. I don't know yet, right? I'm not personally short, but I closed my long. And that's what I talked about here too. I said, if you're longing this and we get up to here and we see distribution like this, at the very least you want to close your long. Doesn't mean you have to short, but at the very least you want to take some profits. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a lot of word salad there, but if you go watch the stream and watch the condensed stream, my editor does such a good job putting that condensed stream out there so you don't have to watch the full stream. Go watch that condensed stream. I talk about flipping bearish after this. I talk about looking to buy the dip down here, and we talk about this target. Ultimately, I would still love to see us trade to 18.2, right? So if we look at this on the 12-hour, doesn't look horrible, right? We had a breakout, now we're consolidating. So I would like to see another leg up, and then we'll decide, right? Doesn't have to just go up in a straight line, but we had a nice move, higher low, nice move, potential for a higher low. Does that mean we're gonna break out from here? Or maybe we're gonna dip one more time? That's something we're figuring out on the low time frame, right? But the 12-hour trend is still to the upside. So we gotta wait and see. Still lots can happen. We're going into the weekend, obviously, but another trade nailed. We've nailed most of the trades since this FTX dump. Longs, shorts, longs again, shorts again. Like, we've done pretty fucking well. So I hope you guys are making some money along with me. I know a lot of you are, because the wins channel in my Discord's blowing up. A lot of you guys printed on that silver call, which gave another great entry that we had discussed here. Boom, another big leg, 7%. And then the first leg was from here to here. Like, combined almost 20% on commodities in 2 trades is insane. For those of you guys that trade traditional markets, that's 2 massive moves. Real quick, guys, this video is brought to you in partnership with UTRUST. So as you guys know, I've been working with UTRUST for a while. This is a company that I have invested in personally, and they've continued to iterate and grow and get more market share over the last couple of years. And with all the craziness that's going on in the crypto space right now, it's great to see a company like UTRUST still focusing on privacy and making a real world use case for crypto for payments. So you can do online payments with digital currencies. It gives e-commerce businesses the ability to accept digital currencies and get all the benefits of that you wouldn't get with traditional payment methods. Used in over 180 countries, nearly every industry. They support more than 30 currencies worldwide, and they're partnered with some of the biggest businesses and organizations around the globe. What's really exciting is the transition from UTRUST to X Money. X Money is going to be part of the larger vision of the Multiverse X, which is going to be encompassing decentralization, privacy, and the metaverse. And UTRUST, which will soon be X Money, will be handling the payment aspects of that vision. So very exciting stuff coming from the UTRUST team, and really appreciate them for supporting me and the channel. Ethereum to me was much cleaner. So Ethereum, I said, listen, if we're going to be looking at the same area as Bitcoin, so if Bitcoin's going to roll over, because we saw that SFP and Ethereum printed basically the same setup here, ran above the highs, then broke down. Where did I want to long Ethereum? Ethereum to me was much cleaner. Within this price leg, we had a breaker form just below the EQ. Look where we came into, bang, right into that 12-hour breaker. Zoom into the hourly. Is this not what you want to see? SFP, break in market structure, retest. Go. Zoom in even lower. Here's a 15-minute breaker setup. There's your breaker right there. Ran this low. Up candle for a down move that ran the low. Broke market structure. Retest. Bang. The reason this works here is because of where it happened. This is what I always talk about, guys. The pattern, whether you're entering on just a fucking higher low, or you're getting in on like some sort of breaker fucking setup, whatever the pattern that you're entering on is, knowing what this looks like, right? Here's just a bullish order block, retest, fucking rally, right? This ends up printing huge. This breaker ends up printing huge. Why? Because it's not just the pattern, it's where it occurred and the context around why it occurred there. We ran a bunch of high time frame lows. We're into a high time frame bullish breaker. We're into support. We took out a low. Okay, we just ran a low into support. What becomes the next most obvious objective? To me, it's here. So if I go zoom in here and I can find an entry in this run of the low and then target the next obvious area of liquidity, because that's all price does, is it ping pongs between runs a high. What's the next most obvious target? Probably a low, right? Like it's just ping ponging. This is all dependent on time frame, but it's ping ponging between liquidity, and that's all I'm doing. I talked about this in my stream with SZ, and I talked about this in the last stream that I did. I make my living on this part of price, right? This is how I make my living. Is when we get below a low, and I think, okay, I have an easy target, you know, over here. And over here, if I can find a reason to get in here on a reversal, I'm gonna fucking go after it, and I'm gonna try and get long and target that internal range liquidity in the other direction. So Ethereum was very clean for me. So that's why I took Ethereum over Bitcoin. We've also had Ethereum BTC be relatively bullish. We had that big divergence at the lows that I've talked about, right? Ethereum equal lows, Bitcoin lower low. So Ethereum was the stronger play, and it ended up printing harder as well. So hopefully that makes sense. What I'm watching now, right, is just this. We got that 12-hour SFP. So I want to see, you know, what are we doing here? Is this the top, right? We came up, SFP'd within this distribution, broke market structure. So if this comes up to here and rejects, we're going to be looking back into the lower part of the range again, in my opinion, you know, back into a deeper retracement. So we'll wait and see, but the 12-hour did SFP. It's also the weekend, so I don't really love trading on the weekend. It's a sticky little area here, right? We've got this breaker here that we could just be retesting. Maybe a setup forms here. I don't know yet. It's too early, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm very happy with how I've traded so far. Catching this leg, easy money. That made my week. One trade, right? I did it on Ethereum, but so I caught this, right? But same thing, ran into the highs, potentially looking like some distribution here. You got to be taking profits on your long. When we have this initial push, then we consolidate, and then you have like this, that's signed to potentially TP, right? We're into an area of resistance over here, and you're getting some distributive looking price action. So at the very least, you want to lock in some gains. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, of course, let me know. Thank you so much again to our partners, UTRUST. If you guys want to join my Discord, the instructions to do so are on my website, tradermain.com. I know a lot of people are looking for new exchanges to trade on right now. If you want to trade on a new exchange and you want to support me and you want to use my ref link, I get really great kickbacks for people who use my ref links because I have a big account. So they give me preferential deals in terms of the types of rebates I can offer to people on my link. So if that's something that interests you, generally this makes the most sense for people who are trading decent size. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Happy to work something out with you guys. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys in a couple days. Today's Friday, so probably no other videos until the stream on Monday. All right, guys. Thank you.